What is going on, everybody? How's everybody's evening going? Hope everybody's doing well. I have a special guest today. You may know him from Nothing But Niners. He's got his own channel too. He's got the coolest name out there, Mr. Wayne Breezy. Welcome to the show. How you doing, man?
What's good, baby? What's going on, man?
He's going to talk some off-season Niners stuff.
Oh, the good stuff, yeah.
All the good stuff, because we got a couple weeks till it starts getting real again, with the free agency and all that stuff. But there's always news to talk about. So if everybody who doesn't know who Wayne Breezy is, Wayne, why don't you catch him up on who you are, what you do, where they can find you, all that good stuff.
For sure. Look, I'm a 49ers content creator. I got into this podcasting thing. Shout out to my brothers from Nothing But Niners, man. They're the ones that gave me the shot. I actually started off writing for them at the very beginning, but I was writing for some Facebook groups, some 49er Facebook groups out there around that Colin Kaepernick era. And then when that situation happened, I got kicked out of the group because I took his side, and not necessarily took his side, but I kind of understood where he was coming from. And then I guess the people in the group didn't like it. They kicked me out of the group, so I was no longer writing for them. And then I kind of got a little depressed. I was kind of hurt. My feelings was kind of hurt. I'm like, what the freak, yo? Like, I can't say that I understand where he's coming from because I could relate. But anyway, to make a long story short, I got a DM from one of my friends, from my man NY to the Bay, Mike, and he was like, yo, you would be perfect for our group. I was like, yo, shoot me the message. I'm ready to rock. And then, Mike, Nick, Tony, the other Mike, they all brought me in and they were just like, yo, man. And then it's been history ever since, So love them dudes. They just finished doing their show a little early. I was online streaming. So I game too. So I do the Madden.
I kind of picked up on that. I saw something and I'm like, drops. Yeah. That means he's gaming, right?
Yeah, man. I'm out there. I'm getting my Madden on. I got the Madden drops going on. Whenever they release those cards, I try people watch the stream and get packs. So you can find me everywhere. All right. It's just Wayne Breezy, right? And what we do is we cover the 49ers, and the name of the show is Nitty Gritty Niners. So if you go to Wayne Breezy on YouTube, Wayne Breezy on Twitch, Wayne Breezy on LinkedIn, Wayne Breezy on Twitter, it's just Wayne Breezy. It's simple. So that's who I am, man. You can find me everywhere.
I have his Twitter and his YouTube handle in the description. I never put people's Instagrams for some reason because the links don't seem to carry over or whatever. Yeah, but
you got to put Instagram.com/ and then the name. That's how it works.
I think for my next guest, I'll try to do that for Rob, but I always just have the Twitter and the YouTube. I figure it's the easiest. I think Twitter's a better avenue anyways, because you can get your voice out there.
Quick too.
YouTube or on Instagram, you can take pictures of your screenshots and then put them on Instagram. But I don't know.
Right.
Just a couple guys in the comments just saying what's up.
I see you sweet too, Jay. What's going on? Hey, PG.
Nitty Gritty, baby.
Right there. That's Nitty. That's Miss Nitty Gritty right there. She brings the ruckus each and every week.
Is she on your show with you?
Oh yeah, she's one of my co-hosts. She's a tremendous ball of talent to have with the group, man. Shout out to Peachy. Shout out to Mose. Shout out to Fair. Miss Debbie as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I caught a little bit of your show. I like to do a little study up when I watch people just to see how like their cadence, how they talk, conversation style. Like some people are really easy to interview. I've had some people in the past where like I ask a question and it's like pulling teeth, like, oh my God, this is gonna be a long stream. You don't seem to have that problem. Which is great.
Yeah.
Which is great. I figure we get into, a little bit of the depressing stuff.
Okay.
That being the Rams winning the Super Bowl. Like I told you off screen or off, when we were offline, I said I've been getting some smoke because I put this stuff out there. I talk about how I don't really respect the whole building championships through free agency, yada 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 yada. I got a lot of crap for it. What's your opinion on all that? And how's your feelings a couple weeks out after, or like a week out, I think, after the Rams winning? Is your depression level lower? Or are you still hurting?
I'm over that. I'm over it, bro. Like the moment we were out, like I wanted the Rams to lose, but I knew they were going to win. Like, I don't know. Like, I just knew they were going to win. You knew at some point it was their time to win for some reason. It's their turn. I don't know why it's never our turn, but for some reason it was their turn to win. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's because they didn't win when they played against the Patriots a couple of years back, and they couldn't score a touchdown or whatnot. But it was just their turn. Everything was mapped out. They were at home. Like, I mean, even the loss, even our, us losing to them, like, come on, like. It was just their turn. Like all of a sudden, Aaron Donald had an epiphany and he just started balling out in one quarter, could ball out for 3. Like it's just a lot of stuff that just happened. But I eventually got over it, To answer your first question, when you talked about, getting flack about building the team, on my morning show or daily show, whatever you want to call it, because it comes on in the afternoon, it comes on whenever. But on the daily show the other day, like it really started to get heated because people were bringing up situations. And I was like, well, in 1994,
True.
we bought a team.
Yeah, we did buy a team.
And so we addressed the majority of that team in free agency because we couldn't be a team.
That's
the name
right.
of that team was the Dallas Cowboys. So what's the difference in what the Rams did compared to what we did? Now, we didn't have a salary cap then, but that should make it even worse. We could spend as much money as we wanted back in 94. Now there's a salary cap and teams get penalized and teams got to give up picks. It's way different. So I don't have any ill feelings towards what the Rams did, bro. Like I feel like their GM did what it took to win now. And he ain't thinking about the future. And when you go and look at their team, you start breaking down some of the salaries, they look pretty well decent for the future. They have draft picks that they're going to be able to hopefully develop in their program. And they look like they're going to be straight. I mean, they got to answer like Odell Beckham and Von Miller and those guys. Other than that, they're going to be pretty stocked. So, hey, I don't know where they get the money. I don't know why they don't have problems spending the money, but for some reason in Santa Clara and these fans out here, they just scared. You know what that phrase is? Scared money don't make money. You got to go out there and spend some money at some point. If you got it, spend it. If you got the picks, get rid of them. We traded our picks for a future star. They traded their picks for a sure thing. What's the difference?
You're right.
So that's why, like, it's funny. Like, I understand what we need to prepare for the future. I get it. I'm all for that. Building the draft, right? You supplement in free agency, you build in the draft. Well, the Rams look like they're supplementing and building at the same time. So why are we not following that model? Because they just won a Super Bowl. And they were just in the Super Bowl a few years back. Now, we were in the Super Bowl a few years back too. And I think the reason why we're not in the Super Bowl this year is mainly because of our quarterback play. But hopefully we'll be moving on from that. So, we'll get into that a little bit later. What's going on, Mariah? That's my sister right there. Corey, I see you, baby. Thank you, sweet 2J.
Thank you, everybody, for coming in here and supporting the stream. I appreciate it. I guess my whole thing, as I'm kind of starting to come around a little bit to what you were saying, my problem, I guess, I don't know. I always feel like building through free agency or making big free agent acquisitions over time can cost you, in the long run, in the long game.
Sure.
And I keep thinking that, and, and then one of the questions I had to these guys, some of these people are like, where is your fan base? Like, you don't even have a strong fan base. I said, none of that seems to matter. I said, are the Niners doing things wrong? Are we going about things the wrong way? Are we team building the wrong way? I'm starting to think that we need to change things up. Like, I was kind of sour about it, but the more I think about it, maybe there needs to be some sort of adjustments in the way the Niners build their team.
Yeah.
If first rounders aren't a sure thing, then why not trade for an established player? Now, they can't do that this year, of course.
They got rid of their first round picks for the next 2 years.
But I really think that that's going to end up working out for them really well. I have a lot of faith in Trey Lance. I don't know why.
Oh yeah,
they
for
don't
sure.
Usually have faith in like younger players, and
I know why.
But I don't know. There's something about him. I have a lot of confidence. Why. He's electric.
He has the it factor,
and he's got physical talent too, like an arm, like a real arm.
Listen, are you familiar with Michael Jackson?
Yes.
Are you familiar why Michael Jackson became a solo artist?
That I do not know.
So you do know he was with the group, the Jackson 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
And out of all of them, he became the most famous one, right?
Right.
And it was because Quincy Jones said, very Gordy, I'm taking him because he has the it factor. The moment he turns of age, he's going to be mine. I'm going to make him into a megastar. Quincy Jones did that. He saw that thing. Trey Lance has the it factor. Now, does he have things he needs to work on as far as mechanics? Absolutely. Because that's what quarterbacks, if you're not working on something, that means you're perfect. And no one in the world is perfect, right?
Nope.
Right. And so he has this it factor in him. And when he comes out there, I mean, I've been saying it before the draft. I don't know I don't understand why people don't see it. What's going on, Ramon? I don't know why people don't see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's there. And people want to say it's because he played against Division II schools. I just want to put this out there about Trey Lance, yo. Like, the fact that maybe a lot of people can't relate. Maybe people have never, ever been an underdog in their entire lives. Myself, I'm always the underdog. Even in this podcasting game, I feel like I get zero respect. And that's okay, because I'm going to go out there and take it. That's what I do. But that's what Trey Lance has done. You bet against him. You told him he couldn't play quarterback in Division I NCAA. He finds a school that lets him play quarterback. He lights it up in his division. It's not his fault. That division sucks. He lights it up. Exactly. He gets drafted number 3. He comes into the NFL not ready. He comes into week 5 against the Cardinals. He was all right. He came into that week 17 and looked better than all right. And now all of a sudden people are like, where was this? It's Trey Lance. He has this it factor. So the more he plays, the more it you're going to get. And so that's why you're high on Trey Lance. There's the something thing about that you can't figure out is that it factor. And it's when he comes out there, he's going to make mistakes, but he's going to learn from his mistakes. See, I don't think Trey Lance is the type of person, when you mentioned his confidence, I don't think he's the type of person that's going to get down on himself. If he throws an interception, which he did in Houston, he's going to go out there and double the interception ratio. What he do 2 touchdowns in Houston, right? He do two TDs in that game as well. And so PG says not only does he have the it factor, he has a high IQ. Yeah, like the IQ is good. You need that because we're talking about reading and things like that. But the it factor is what happens when your reads aren't there. And so, yeah, you want him to make the right reads and the right throws. But when the offensive line is just not allowing you time, that's when the it kicks in. And he has the it. And so Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch been playing the mess out of us all season long. They knew he was ready to go. Matter of fact, did you see the video? Did you hear
Javier Vega? Those little snippets of film that he popped up on Twitter?
Yeah, like so beautiful. No, not that. Did you see the clip from Jim Trotter? I'll play it for you. You ready?
Oh, I'm listening.
I haven't broke this yet. I was gonna break this on my joint, but you know what? I'll exclusively break it.
I think I've heard it, but yeah, go right ahead.
All right, so let me get this out. Now, Jim Trotter says this about Trey Lance.
Rookie struggles that young guys might have. He was in consideration, actually, to start going into the season until he got hurt in that preseason game where he injured the index finger on his throwing hand. And there was even a discussion about possibly starting him in that final regular season game. But ultimately, the team decided that Jimmy had led them to that point, and they were going to stay there, and that's what they did, Greg.
The team decided to stay with Jimmy, but Trey Lance this whole time has been into consideration, according to Jim Trotter, in the 49ers. So that means that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan has been feeling this kid is ready to go in there, and he's ready to light it up. And they really saw it week 17 against Houston, because if it wasn't for Trey Lance, we wouldn't have been playing the Rams and contesting for a playoff spot. So Trey got the first win. Jimmy closed it out.
I think the thing too, I don't know how much of this, how much would you credit keeping Jimmy's draft stock trade value high by keep playing him? Do you think that had anything to do with it? One of the main reasons that they wanted to keep Jimmy playing was just to keep that value as high as possible.
See, that's funny because it could have went both ways, right? Jimmy could have got hurt, which he technically was hurt, but he could have got injured, and then what would have happened to his trade value?
Would have dipped, or it would have been non-existent,
right? And then I don't think Jimmy played well enough for his trade value to even go up.
Yeah, He had
He
some
was
good stuff early on in the season. He was
No,
I
I mean
for a bit.
that playoff stretch. He was
But the
terrible.
stretch, yeah, he was terrible. He was horrible.
He was horrible. Did he make good fourth quarter comebacks? Yeah, that Rams game. That was it. He played decent enough in Dallas. We were able to get the win. He played decent enough. He didn't play well at all against Green Bay.
No.
But neither did the other team.
No. I think that had a lot to do with the weather, which whatever.
Right.
I'll take
Can you
it,
imagine?
right?
Like, what if Aaron Rodgers would have had his day, his game?
And it would have been over.
It would have been over. That's not.
I love our defense, but nah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
if Aaron would have just had one of his days, come on, man. We've seen Aaron have his days.
Yes, we have.
And so it just, I'm not saying we got lucky. It just panned out, and Jimmy was the winning quarterback in that game. But had we inserted Trey to provide a spark like you did week 3 against Green Bay, it would have changed the whole dichotomy of the game and the way their whole philosophy on how to defend. But I will go back on record because I said this, that Kyle Shanahan was not ready for his coaching clock, to start
True.
ticking.
That's right. Because once Trey goes in there, it starts to tick.
It starts to tick.
Then you got no more excuses. Now you have
Zero.
your guys, so to speak. One topic that I have on here that it just kind of melts perfectly into what we've been talking about. What do you make of all this noise coming from guys like Montana, Steve Young, Ryan Clark? When did Ryan Clark become the voice of who's ready and who's not at quarterback? I don't understand that. You have Jay Feely, a kicker, saying that he saw Trey Lance warm up against the Cowboys and he doesn't look ready based on his warm-up throws. I mean, what do you make of all this? Just
that's why they kickers suck. No, seriously. I expect people to, spectate. I expect people to give their opinions. I mean, that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? I expect, I expect it. I respect it from guys like Joe Montana.
True.
I don't respect it for guys that just don't even watch 49ers football.
Exactly.
And Ryan Clark clearly doesn't watch 49ers football.
He's got that East Coast bias.
Right. And he clearly doesn't. And I think he's part bitter to how his last game of his career, whatever, when we played them and he got put on by, I think it was Carl Hyde that ran him over.
I saw that. Somebody made sure to keep retweeting that. And I was like, okay, I'm going to.
But the point is, these guys, these people out here, they get paid to say things, to speculate. And I'm okay with it. But the Ryan Clark one really struck a chord. Like Joe Montana's didn't strike a chord because he's a legend.
He is the legend.
So even though I didn't agree with him, I respected him. Jay Feely can go kick rocks for sure.
Exactly.
Who's the other person you mentioned other than Ryan Clark?
Steve Young made some comments during the season thinking Trey should start, and he's kind of flip-flopped a little bit. Because they're talking about, what if Aaron Rodgers becomes available? What if Tom Brady becomes available?
Listen, bro, that's the only reason why they're saying that. Because at the end of the day, if the option out there is if Tom Brady wanted to come back and play football for the 49ers, would you sign him?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, right. Like
he's Tom freaking Brady.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I want the kid to start. You have I don't have to explain to you. You're a 49ers fan. You're smart. I want the kid to start. I want the future to begin now. Right. I want him to take over, but it's Tom Brady, bro.
We're talking about the GOAT.
It's the GOAT. And I was a Montana GOAT guy for a long time.
Montana was the GOAT.
I had to move over and say, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I guess I'll begrudgingly, but he's proved it. So he's the man.
Yeah. And not only that, bro, he wants to be a 49er. Matter of fact, man, 2 years ago, he wanted to be a 49er. Kyle Shanahan, they bombed it.
Well, now they're saying that his camp is, they don't like us very much, and he would not sign with us.
So what's going on now is that, like, the family's coming out. I think they're still a little perturbed because you got to think about it. Tom Brady's from the Bay Area, right? And his parents were there. He grew up a 49er fan. He grew up a Joe Montana fan for sure, right? You can watch that in the Joe Montana.
I did.
Yes, you did.
Absolutely.
And when you look at Tom Brady, you're saying he wanted to be a 49er, A, because it was his passion to go to his childhood favorite team, and B, he wanted his parents to kind of like walk him off into the sunset, right? He wanted his parents to be there during their golden years, like their old, during their years where they're getting up there in age, right? And so it would have been a perfect situation, but not Kyle and John, right? Kyle and John are like, well, we got this Jimmy Garoppolo guy. And so Tom Brady, who I just thoroughly respect, because he goes on the LeBron James show, and a lot of people did not understand that he was talking about the 49ers. I don't care what you say, what you think. When he said you chose that mother beep over me, he was talking about Jimmy Garoppolo,
He had
who I don't think he likes. Because remember, the Patriots drafted Jimmy in the second round, and Tom was like, huh? And see, Tom don't get no flack for that. But Aaron Rodgers get all the flack when they drafted Jordan Love in the first round. And so quarterbacks get mad when they think they're replaceable. You feel me? Like they get a little tight. And
Montana was like that with Steve Young. He didn't think Steve Young was ready. Same deal.
Wait a minute. Did you bring it back to Montana and Young? Are we not? That's normal.
Someone's trying to take your job. Of course, you're going to be perturbed about it. I would be.
And then the great ones, bro, they go and step their game up. Tom Brady.
Yeah, because they want to step on your throat, man. They don't want you to play. They're going to try to stop your growth at any point possible.
Bro, I thought that this season, the drafting of Trey Lance was going to light the biggest fire under Jimmy Garoppolo. I thought it was. And then Jimmy came out the same Jimmy, bro.
It's like nothing changes.
He came out the same old Jimmy. The only credit I give Jimmy Garoppolo, is that he was a gridiron man this year, yo. I've never seen. Matter of fact, we've never seen Jimmy play injured.
No, the knock on him from, I forgot who it was that he, I can't repeat any of that language on here, but you know who I'm talking about, right?
I do.
He pretty much said Jimmy was a whatever the word, and didn't play hurt.
Yeah.
And I was surprised that he stayed. They kept him in with the bum shoulder and the bum hand.
I respect him for playing with a broken thumb.
Right.
Like my respect level for Jimmy grew. So that made me want to root for him.
Right. Me too. I understand.
You know what I mean? Even though I thought even if we didn't start Trey, I thought that Kyle. Listen, let me tell you a secret. We could have won. We could have beat the Rams and we would have won the Super Bowl. But Kyle Shanahan, he didn't want to. He has the weapons.
Oh, we have the weapons for sure.
Getting back to the Super Bowl conversation that we were having at the beginning of the show. Now you made me mad. Now you're bringing back up how do we not give the ball to our playmaker in the fourth quarter?
Jimmy ain't able. He's not able. He's incapable.
They didn't even target Debo. He didn't even get a target. He didn't even throw it to him. He didn't throw it, didn't run it. Debo touched the ball once in the fourth quarter, bro. That also happened, my guy, in the Super Bowl. If you go back and watch the Super Bowl, Debo was killing in the first half. Yep. And then after that pass interference to George Kittle, Debo was insignificant. Why? Kyle, did you really want to win this game? And that's when I questioned the coach. Because the difference between him and Sean McVay, because I'm sure you're going to ask me about that, who's the better coach? I mean, clearly it's Sean McVay. He has a Super Bowl.
You can't argue it right now.
It's unarguable, right?
He has a title. He's got the chip.
Bam. However he got it. You know what? If Kyle Shanahan is Martin Luther King, Sean McVay is Malcolm X. He got it by any means necessary.
Great. That's awesome.
That's how you got to look at it. You said bump it. Kyle Shanahan likes Matt Stafford. You know what? I like him better. Here you go.
How much of that is Kyle's ego when they struggle and they choke?
This, man.
I think he has a massive ego.
It's huge, bro. The only thing I'm nervous about for Trey Lance is him not being able to be Trey Lance. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because I personally think, and I've talked to PG about this 100 times, I think Jimmy Garoppolo's going to go to a team next year and be like amazing.
Probably. Just because it's us, right?
Well, just because he will no longer be under the Kyle Shanahan system. He can go and play Jimmy Garoppolo football. Maybe Kyle's system is that complicated. Maybe Kyle needs a young person that he can shape and mold, opposed to getting some vet. That's why Aaron Rodgers, how would Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady work in San Francisco?
This question right here, he says the story that Brady met Kyle in the offseason in 2019 and challenged Kyle about his system. And Kyle didn't like that very much. Kyle wants a little bit of a puppet behind.
That's why Brady wasn't a 49er, y'all. So he wasn't talking to Jimmy, guys. He was talking to Kyle Shanahan. You chose that mother over me. He was talking.
Soundboard, yes.
Yes. He was definitely talking to Kyle Shanahan.
Absolutely. Kyle, I mean, I took it as whoever made the decision to choose him, said player over Tom Brady. Yeah, so you're right. It had to be Kyle. It was Kyle's decision in the end, because I don't think John Lynch has much legs as far as making decisions. I think he's more of a figurehead, a voice. Yep. I think if anybody, Adam Peters has more pull in that front office than. No, you think it's Kyle all the way?
Mm-hmm. I think Adam Peters, he says, here, man, you got a couple of 5th-round picks. Do what you want. But at the end of the day, I think John Lynch's voice and opinions come into play. But I think you said it. I think John Lynch is the voice of the 49ers. That's what he did after he retired. He was the voice on TV, and he is the public voice figure that needs to be out there. He speaks very well. He speaks way better than anyone on our team.
Yeah, he's very eloquent.
He has the perfect spoken voice.
Got the jaw, good looking guy.
Got the square, the glass, he looks good in a suit. You know what I'm saying? Hair be right. He looks like he's the guy. Mm-hmm. So they're the guy that he puts out in the front. But Kyle, because there's been some times that they look kind of heated on camera at the same time, like they weren't in sync.
I wouldn't be I wouldn't be shocked at all. I think Kyle has a little of a prickly side to him.
Yeah.
His dad was like that too. His dad wasn't the nicest individual.
He was a chipper dude, yo. I remember Mike.
Yeah, sometimes he would look on the sideline and he'd look like, oh my gosh. That little pinched face that he used to have. Yeah, his dad, he definitely takes after his father. I like that fire, but I don't know, man.
It could bite you in the booty.
Yeah, I really think that I didn't blame all of it's weird. It's kind of a hand-in-hand thing with me. I feel like Kyle can only do what he can with Jimmy, and I think he has to protect Jimmy a lot.
But why?
From himself. Oh. Because, he has to protect Jimmy from himself and all his inadequacies or his inabilities. So he has to play this careful brand of football with them. I don't know. All I know is hopefully that's not the case anymore. And you're right. Somebody in the comments, where are they? Did he say, I let Trey be Trey? Yeah.
Yeah, that's PG.
PG.
Yes.
She said, Kyle has to let Trey be Trey.
That's it.
Totally agree. You cannot hamstring or handcuff this dude. You want him to run your offense. Yes. Mm-hmm. But if he wants to freelance, as long
I like that. It's a dope title. Freelance.
Yeah, exactly. I'm watching those throws that Javi Vega put up on Twitter today. He set the freaking internet on fire. Wow. Yeah. I don't even know what to say. That dude, that's God-given talent. There's nothing you can coach.
I was trying to tell everybody that this boy is ready.
I think he's ready too.
And
he's going to surprise a lot of people next year.
But you know what? I didn't have that stuff to post. So shout out to Javi.
Javi's the
man.
I
knew from what I researched that Trey was making throws. And then you had to listen to the players. Fred Warner effed up. Let's just call it like it is. Fred Warner messed up in a presser when he said Trey looked good. Bang. But what? But nobody picked up on it, or they kind of moved away from that. But Fred let the cat out of the bag. Mid-season when Trey started running the scout offenses and stuff.
He told them to stop freelancing and actually play. And then he said he started playing and stopped running. They wanted him to they wanted to practice against the offense, not against the running and the scrambling. And he said he started to make plays against the starting defense. That's Fred freaking Warner we're talking about here. Best middle linebacker in the NFL, even though he had a bad year or a down year, supposedly.
Down year. I would say a down year.
I wouldn't say bad year.
He's still an all-pro in my book.
Yeah, I love Fred Warner.
He'll be right back to that speed. He had a couple of injuries this year too. He had to deal with, but he'll be right back to all-pro level next year, especially if Dre Greenlaw's back.
Do you think it's not a topic I have, but it's a question that I definitely will ask you. What do you think about all this talk maybe of him being shopped, like a Greenlaw being moved? You think it's a stupid idea? I like the fact of having to keep all three of them because I think Azeez Al-Shaair is fantastic. And I think Dre Greenlaw is fantastic as well. I think Greenlaw brings a little bit more of an attitude. Mm-hmm. He's a little bit more of a loose cannon. Mm-hmm. You got to be like, whoa, settle down, buddy.
The energy is definitely there. He gives you Quan Alexander vibes all of a sudden.
I can't say without all the injuries because he was injured all year, but I almost said that.
Yeah, he after that pick six he had.
That was so beautiful.
That's when the injuries kind of just came out of nowhere. But you know what? I'm a 3 linebacker person.
I like him too.
I do understand that the 49ers don't play in a 4-3 base the majority of the game. But hey, guess what? We don't even know if we're bringing back K'Wan Williams. That's our nickel back. So if you don't bring him back, I'm not saying Dre Greenlaw and Azeez Al-Shaair can cover wide receivers. That's not what I'm saying. But I think they could do it for a down or two, depending on the wide receiver. I mean, if it's Cooper Kupp, no. If it's Devontae Adams in the slot, no. You know what I mean? But in your nickel packages, you're going to put in the DB. But in the base, I want those 3 linebackers on the field.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, I was mad that they got rid of Griffith via trade to the Broncos. I wanted to keep him.
They had to. The 49ers.
Why keep Flanagan Foles? Why not? I don't understand. He was
because of it has to do something with the contract. I got to check out Flanagan Foles' contract, but you got to think about contracts that were going to expire. I think was Griffin. He was undrafted, right? I can't remember if they drafted him or he was undrafted. I got to look that up. But it's stuff comes down to do with language and contract. So they got something for him. They got a pick. They didn't get any value for the Flanagan Files.
Right.
So you gotta. What did they get for Jonathan Griffith?
Might have been a 7th round. Was it a
7th rounder?
It might have been a 7th rounder.
Well, they didn't get anything or any offers for Flanagan Files. I'm sure they would have wanted to move on from him because Griffith was having a hell of a preseason.
He was fantastic. Oh my god!
But you gotta get that's the game, bro. That's the game. When players have value, you sell them high. That's true. The game.
Well, the Niners back in the old day used to, try to move on from players early. They would always draft guys to replace guys.
They did.
That's how Bill Walsh thought about it. He's like, I want to get rid of somebody 2 years before they have no value anymore.
Yeah.
I understand that. It's a business and people's feelings get involved. A lot of people didn't like Walsh until many years later.
Facts.
But they understood the business part of it. But yeah, and I guess in this day and age with the salary cap, you always got to get value. I want to hit this comment real quick. He says, yeah, you notice how they shut Fred off those pressers after that, Breezy?
Yo, he took a hiatus, yo. Like Fred,
they're like, you're not talking anymore.
He had a hiatus, and then they just started making him go last. Like once they brought him back in, and then they, But toward the end of the season, I mean, it is what it is, yo. Even Jimmy. If you go back and watch Jimmy pressers, he was giving it away too. Everything was the coach. I'm just doing what the coach tells me to do. Like that. Oh, I made the interception. Well, the coach told me to throw the ball that way. Like Jimmy. Okay. But no, it was an interesting season, and unfortunately, we fell one game short for going into the Super Bowl.
We were 2 minutes away from actually beating them too. I feel if we have an offensive line that could block and a competent quarterback, we win that game. But that's the past. It's water under the bridge, over the dam, whatever.
Yeah.
Real quick, compensation for Jimmy. People are talking Commanders. I've been saying Redskins in some of my live streams, and I'm sure people are really mad at me. I apologize. But they were that until I was like 41 years old. So
no, you're right.
Jimmy, there's Eagles, Commanders, and Colts talk. That the first rounder, I've asked some people and they've laughed in my face and they're like, Aaron, you serious? But then there's people out there saying that there's a chance within the Redskins organization that they might be. What do you make of all that silly business right now? Like, I don't believe any of it.
You know,
I start to, and then I come to my senses.
It's speculation, but I was talking about this on my show. You gotta think about it like this, yo. I think the 49ers are the only team that don't be wanting to win now. Like, there's teams that just want to win. They don't care. Like they're you ever played poker and you just go all in?
Yep.
Well, some teams like the Rams, they're just gonna go all in. And guess what? When you're talking about the Commanders, look at the team. They got weapons on every level minus the quarterback. And they don't have Terry McLaurin is not throw the ball all the way down the field type of wide receiver either. He's a guy that works the sticks. He's almost like he can get down the field if you throw it, but he's a guy that likes to work the sticks, and you could throw it anywhere, and his catch radius is ridiculous. So that will be a perfect match for Jimmy. They got a run game, right? They got an offensive line. They got a stout defense. Chase Young will be back. So they got DBs. They're built to win now, and then they play in the NFC East, and that's the most important part. Okay, so you look at the NFC East and you say, who's their competition? Dallas, only team they got to worry about. Giants ain't going to be nothing, and neither are and then the Eagles, they had a decent season. They had a decent season, but the Eagles aren't sold on their quarterback. That's why they're in the trade talk rumors, right?
Yeah, so, I was a little taken back by I'm like, Jimmy Garoppolo, don't they have Hurts? Like, but apparently, you know, somebody's dropping that news out there, somebody's agent or something or whoever.
Look,
I was like,
I think the only reason why the Eagles are interested is because I think the Commanders thing is for real. And so the Eagles are going to look at their roster and they're going to say, we're going to have the youngest quarterback in here. Because even Daniel Jones, healthy, in my opinion, is better than Hurts.
You really think that? I am not a big Daniel Jones fan.
I really do. Daniel Jones is a bootleg version of freaking the kid from Buffalo.
He's like the dollar store version.
He's the dollar store. He's the Dollar General version of
Dollar General.
Well, that's what he is. He'll run. You remember the game we played it and he ran the ball all over us? It was like, why is Daniel Jones running the ball? And why are we letting him?
And why is nobody hitting him?
Right.
Somebody put a helmet on this guy.
Daniel Jones is that guy. I just think the Giants are further away. They got and they don't have an offensive line. Like the Giants' offensive line is trash. And they won't address it. And so, but they also need weapons. Saquon Barkley can't stay injured because the moment he gets the rock, the whole 8 man in the box is in the backfield on him.
Right. I'm like I said, I want Jimmy to go somewhere where he can be of value. But in the end, it is a business part, and the Niners have to do what's best for the Niners as far as trying to get a pick. If they can get a first round pick and swindle some team, I don't care.
He can go to Utah, Aztecs, Jazz.
Send him to Toronto. I don't care as long as if he can get a first rounder for him.
That's what I'm saying. Well, let's talk about that too, because if Kyle Shanahan trades his first round picks for Trey Lance and gets a first round pick in return for Jimmy, he's by far the best GM coach in the NFL. He's better than Bill Belichick.
He needs another 6-year extension.
That's it. Because you got to remember, Bill Belichick needed time. It's not like Bill won right away.
Nope.
You know, they were he inherited Drew Bledsoe from Bill Parcells. Drew Bledsoe ended up getting hurt. He had Brady. He drafted Brady, right? He had Brady. Brady just happened to come in and was able to manage that game, get them wins, and then all of a sudden he started building around Brady. He started building around the quarterback strength. That's what good head coaches and GMs do. You find your quarterback, you say, okay, I'm gonna rock with this guy till the wheels fall off, and you build around him. They didn't build around Jimmy. Well, technically they did. They got yak guys. All Jimmy had to do was deliver a quick pass accurately.
I don't understand. I mean, that's his game, right? To me, with Jimmy, there's his mechanics to me have always been something that have concerned me. I never thought he had the best mechanics as far as like planting his feet and throwing. He can do the sidearm baseball, those kind of razzle dazzle throws
Quick
over the
throws was
middle.
his thing, man.
But when it comes to his footwork and putting his foot in the ground and really, letting one go, he just doesn't
step into his throws, bro.
Never. It bothers the heck out of me.
I don't think did he not ever learn how, or he's like a follow through.
Yeah, he always reminded me of like one of those like mech robots where like the lower body and the upper body were like separate and the top would spin and the bottom would stay the same.
Stay the same?
Like yeah, that's what he reminded me of. Like, why doesn't his lower body ever move? But Trey's a whole other thing. Trey's got a wind up that they need to work on. I hear they're trying to they're going to have him working with John Beck in the off season.
Okay.
So they're aware of his mechanic. I love that they talked about that at the presser. They got right on it. They're like, yeah, Trey's going to be working on his mechanics. Everybody knows that's I love that they're like, he's a young quarterback who is open to doing whatever he can to get better. Whether that's changing mechanics. He said that when he was in meetings or you would talk to certain people with Kyle Shanahan around, he's like, I always wish I had a notebook because he goes, I feel like if I don't take notes, I'm going to miss something. So I like that about him. I don't know if you know who Larry Krueger is from KNBR.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things Larry loves about Trey is that he is a classroom junkie. He's a film junkie. Not saying that Jimmy wasn't. I just don't think Jimmy has the physical talent. He might have the mental, well, maybe some mental. He still seems like he's lost out there sometimes, but Trey's going to be interesting once he puts his whole game together.
Facts.
And once the
time, though.
Yes. I feel like the physical's there first. You depend on the physical to get you out of jams. And then once the mind catches up, God help the league, man. That's all I got to say.
That's it.
Speaking of, I forgot how I was going to kind of transition into this. Actually, let me go back to that. I just had a comment. I'm sorry. Where is it? He said, Raymond says we should trade Jimmy G to them is it Montez Sweat in their second round pick?
Oh, Montez Sweat.
Yeah, I wish that would. They ain't happening.
They wouldn't do that.
No.
I like the fact that Ramon and he aiming high. Shoot.
Yeah, I would aim high too. I mean, that was kind of what I've heard in a couple of circles.
ACL too this year.
Oh, he got hurt as well. See, I follow the league, but I'm so Niners centric.
It's all good. I
mean? I pay attention to like big stories, but like I knew that
he's their D Ford.
He's their D Ford.
He's their speed rusher because Chase Young was their power rusher on the other side. So they both ended up missing the whole season. You know what I'm saying?
What is your take on Dante Fowler just getting released by the Atlanta Falcons?
I bet the 49ers better try to find a way to make him an offer.
I would be interested to see him. I think he had an injury the other year.
He had an injury, but you better make him an offer.
I would make him an offer like yesterday. Yeah,
you dealt with Arden Key, Maurice Hurst, all these guys. These are guys you can make low risk, high reward offers to.
Right. I agree.
And he would probably ball in Chris Koceric's system.
What's up, Kelts? How you doing, man?
Kelts, what's going on?
I love that dude.
Kelts doing his own thing too, man.
Yeah,
I love
growing quick. I had him on the other day.
He's
like
up.
you. He's like you. He had the floor, man. I didn't have to say nothing. I love that.
Now.
Like I told you off screen, there's people sometimes you interviewing them and it's just like nothing's happening.
Right.
Like, this is tough.
Yeah.
Not you, not Kelts, not Jay, not Rob, none of y'all.
All my dudes, man. All my boys.
What's your speaking of the 49ers and contract stuff? There's the DJ Jones, Tart, Lincoln Tomlinson. It looks like Lincoln Tomlinson, the Niners are preparing to let him walk from some reports that they might, I don't know if they're looking to put Aaron Banks at the left guard, his natural position. What's your take on that? Or you think it's too early to really make any predictions?
No, man, it's never too early because the free agency starts in about 3 weeks.
Right.
3 or 4 weeks. Like these talks are going to get hot real quick. You know what I mean? Like you said, 2 weeks. And so March 15th, man, deals are going to be already set into place. Right. And so 49ers need to figure out how they're going to be able to sign some of their own talent. Now, should they bring Lincoln Tomlinson back? Yeah. I don't know.
I'm in the same boat as you. Like he's played really well, but I mean, would you really?
He priced himself out. I think he's priced. I think his Pro Bowl season, he priced himself out of Santa Clara.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be expensive, and he earns every freaking penny of it.
Right.
He's a Pro Bowl player.
No, he's a good player. I have nothing but respect for him, and he's always healthy.
Always.
And what you can't say about half the roster.
I was so wrapped up, bro, around Jimmy's farewell speech. I think Lakin kind of gave us his too.
Yeah,
he said he thanked them, the 49ers, for helping him become a better man, a better husband, a better teammate, like just better. And I think about it, I'm like, oh no, I wasn't paying that any attention.
Right. You think it's just a kind of a farewell speech for the offseason. Then you're like, wait a minute. Did you just say goodbye?
Yeah. And so you got to look at it like the 49ers drafted Aaron Banks for a reason. On our draft show, when we did the draft and we were covering the second round pick, I was like, he has to be a Trey Lance pick. He's for Trey. Why? Don't know yet. But his size, apparently he's good with his feet, but he needed to get acclimated to the NFL. And I think that the reason why he was redshirted, bro, is because they wanted him to lose some weight. Remember Trent Brown?
Yeah, I'll let 1 second. I was going to say he looked like he needed to get his pro body.
Right.
I just had he looked soft.
Right.
Anytime they showed Aaron Banks, he just looked like someone who needed to hit the weight room, diet a little bit, eat better. He had like a fat college body. So yeah, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, that's it. Like I think they redshirted him, A, because they could, and B, they drafted a future pick for their future team. Trey Lance,
I agree.
Trey Sermon, and they drafted Jalen Moore not to challenge McKivitz, to challenge some of these other draft picks, and Jalen Moore looked like he was going to be the swing tackle, and I think that's going to be his role. And I think you can slide McKivitz now. And then they also drafted pieces for versatility. So I think McKivitz can play tackle, he can play guard, he can play on the right side, left side, right. I think you let Thomason walk. What was he going to get? 14 million? Like what's like that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a lot. And so you can put a young player on there for like 2 and 3 mil. It's on the same side. Who do you want helping a youngster? Trent Williams.
Oh, hell yeah.
Trent had to help Lakin. Trent plays a certain way. Trent is the best offensive lineman in the game of football, according to PFF.
That man scares me the way he throws people around when he gets a hold of like DBs or linebackers. Oh my Lord. Whoo! My dad was a strong guy. Like he had that like country boy strength.
Yeah.
But he ain't got nothing on Trent Williams.
Trent different. Because that boy out there working in the weight room and training. And I'm going to tell you this. If Trent was 80% healthy, we probably would have won that game too.
Yeah, Trent was hurting.
Trent was like 50%, yo.
Yeah. They had him shot up on something. Wanted to make a real quick, I want to jump on this comment from Celts, and then I'm going to go back to Niner Faithful. He said, Jimmy to Carolina, my one and only prediction, that footage of Trey is beautiful real talk, regardless of just practice. Yeah. I don't know if you're aware of the, I don't want to drop names in here, but there is certain people that like to cause controversy sometimes on social media and always take everything positive and turn it into a negative.
Okay.
And I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to talk about people. He's not a YouTuber or anything, but a lot of people were like that film. They were like waiting for someone of that person to come out and be like, hey, it's only practice. Cause some people can never just
people get better in practice.
Right.
Isn't that what practice is for, to get better? I'm just curious.
Right. Unless you're Allen Iverson, then it doesn't matter.
Right. I mean, not a whole different sport.
Then it's just practice.
Yeah. Then right. But seriously, you complain, you talk about him not making throws. Hey, can I remind y'all that San Francisco had number 3 defense in the NFL too, by the way?
That's crazy.
I just want to put that out there.
With a patchwork secondary. Patchwork corners.
Y'all thought that a lot of people felt like the secondary was the weakest link. And maybe on paper it was, but I tell you what, on Sundays it wasn't. Because they never gave up touchdowns.
Yeah, they would give up, they give up the yards. Yeah.
They give up big plays. They would bend and not break. Next thing you know, teams are only going in for 3 points and not 7.
True.
And then dumb penalties, obviously. You're going to get that, But then you got to think about it, man. They never had like a solid unit out there, right? They started with Verrett and Mosley. Then Mosley gets hurt. I mean, Verrett gets hurt. Mosley goes out there, and then they have to sign Josh Norman. Then Mosley gets hurt. Now it's Josh Norman, and then they just like bump it. We're just gonna bring in the rookie. It's time. Whatever, 15 Bengals, go, all go. And so, hey, man, look, I thought the secondary was pretty damn good. They bent and they didn't break, and that's I get flack too, bro. You ain't the only one. That's why I don't think we should draft a corner with our first pick.
I'm
going safety.
Yeah, to replace Tart, somebody you can plug right in.
It's time.
Yeah, I love Tart.
Let me tell you my top safety
too, but I think somebody needs to go out of those three. And I want DJ Jones because my nephew or my brother is a Dolphins fan. Okay. So McDaniels is there now.
He's going to the Dolphins, dog.
And my brother's like, I was like, who do you want? He's like, DJ Jones. I'm like,
you got to think about, like, we talked about Lakin getting priced out. I think DJ priced himself out too. I think DJ priced himself out of the defense and Lakin priced himself out. Now, DJ didn't have an all-pro Pro Bowl year.
No.
But are the 49ers going to be willing to pay an interior defensive lineman that amount of money when they got a third-year player that they need to really...
He needs to play.
He needs to stop
chewing on squirrels and get his butt playing.
Well, I'm going to chalk it up and to say that he never came into the league right.
Yeah, that's the issue with the Niners that I hope that they're moving on from is paying more attention to these medicals, man. Like they said they did last year, and I trust that they're doing their due diligence.
Mm-hmm.
But all the talk coming out was about how he had a bum knee. So guys like Grant Cohn, man, there's blood in the water, man. He's going for it, and he was right. They if that's the issue, and you can't be surprised when a guy goes down if he came into the league with already red flags, So kind of like D Ford, that trade will probably go down as the worst trade the 49ers have ever made. Yeah, it got us into the Super Bowl, but that's one of the worst trades of all time. And the Chiefs must have thought they were like, wow, this is like taking candy from a baby. Are they really going to pay this dude all this money with all his issues? But it is what it is. Niner Faithful says he said he wants Chase Young for Jimmy. He's like, but in all seriousness, Jimmy for the 11th, because that was the reported pick.
That's the report. Yeah,
man, if they could get right outside the top 10, they can get a starting caliber star player. Like, I don't even know where you go. Would you?
I don't even think they draft with the 11th pick. I think they
trade back.
They trade back and get 2 picks.
True.
They gain capital. They trade back, get a pick here, get a pick next year.
True. You're right. I forget, man, because I forget sometimes because I take, picks for face value and I don't really kind of like look to the trade up game.
Mm-hmm.
But like the year that we got Ayuk, because and I know a lot of people are saying, well, Ayuk looks like he ain't no bust, man. He just needs a quarterback and get him the ball. That was a trade that I envisioned that the Niners might make, but I was almost certainly weren't because of how far the draft was. Like the draft was right at its end, or the first round was right at, and the fact that they traded back up and got Brandon Ayuk, who is one of my favorite players, who I think got himself into the doghouse this year because I think he showed up Jimmy Garoppolo. That's what a lot of people are saying, and I totally agree with it. If you watch him in games or in practice, when they show him like stomp his feet or kind of cause a scene when Jimmy misses him, I think that had a lot to. I mean, that's just me spitballing, but he's got an Instagram post where it's on Jimmy, that deep ball that Jimmy threw to him against the Rams. And it says something like, throw me the deep ball. And in all capital letters, it says like, please, or something like that. I'm like, oh man, somebody's sending a message, no hate on Jimmy, but Jimmy just doesn't have he's noodle armed, man. He's like Chad Pennington.
He's noodle armed, bro. He doesn't look.
Yeah. He doesn't even look deep.
Yeah, so he does have the noodle arm at times. There's sometimes he overthrows too, but that one pass he threw to Brandon Ayuk in that Rams game, damn, Jimmy, if you would have did that,
right? Where was that all year?
All season? Do you know these defenses would have had to play differently?
Yeah, and then Kittle would have been open over the middle because there would have been a bunch of space.
Because now they're covering, they're doubling the size because you're throwing down to the sideline, down the field.
And then if they have to jump on Kittle, that means the running game's open. So it just
There's no more stack in the box, bro.
People ask why we lost. That was one of the main reasons. Dude, what's his name said it in his press conference when they asked him. He said straight up, Debo. Somebody interviewed him. He said that they forced us to throw. I'm like, damn, that's an indictment on. Yeah, Debo. They asked him, what happened, and he goes, well, they just, they took the run away from us. In so many words, he said.
Oh, I know, but I know what that means.
And he said, and they forced us to, have to throw the ball. And I'm like, ooh, that's an indictment on Jimmy. No offense, he didn't really throw him under the bus, but he kind of threw him under the bus.
No, I think what Debo was saying is that they made him one-dimensional, right?
Very one-dimensional.
When the 49ers are one-dimensional, and he's saying you got to depend on Jimmy. Like, that's going to be tough, because you're asking Jimmy to go out there and
go throw for throw with a guy like Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady. It's over with. It's not happening. It's just not happening. I'm so sorry.
He couldn't even go throw for throw with Colt McCoy. So I don't know what we thought.
I forgot about that game. Why'd you have to bring that up?
I just saying
that game hurt.
But you know what? Colt McCoy did exactly what Jimmy Garoppolo was supposed to do. All those short throws, all those screen throws, all those things. That's how they won. Yeah. They were keeping our defense off. Our defense was playing back. They didn't want to get burnt. They were throwing underneath. Defense had to react. You had guys like James Conner who makes plays. They just made plays, James
Conner was bullying us too in that game.
Straight up.
What's your take on a little bit of the drama that's going on in the Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson situation? You think Russell's done? You think he's moving on?
I think guys are looking for newer pastures. Sometimes you get to a place, man, and you felt like you gave it all you got. You need a change of scenery.
I agree.
And I don't
even like that in the real world with jobs. Sometimes
that's why
you get burned out.
Yeah, like right now I'm feeling very burnt out and I need to take a break, or I don't know what's gonna happen. But I do plan to content create full time for at least next year. Like I gotta take a break from the real world.
I think you'll do just dandy.
Appreciate it.
I think you're real good.
And so that but because I need this energy, I need a different vibe.
I agree. I think that's why I like doing this too.
Yeah.
I like the camaraderie. I have social anxiety. I've been out of work since December. I have really bad anxiety issues. And I was pretty much burnt out. I had a nervous breakdown, whatever. I deal with mental health stuff, up and down. Doing this where I don't have to necessarily be around people, but interact with them and the mess, everybody talking and we're all 49er fans, dude, it is so cathartic. I love it. So if what makes you happy and you want to change a pace, I say go for it, because your mental health and your health overall is
the most important.
Yep.
Most important.
Yeah.
Most important. Very
Makes
well
you a
said.
happier person. Luke Luna, thank you so much. He says, I am tattooing and listening. Dude is awesome. I love Luke Luna. He's one of
Luke, are you in where are you, Luke? Are you in California? Is he in California?
I'm not sure.
Maybe. Luke, tell us where you are. I'm dying to know, because I want Luke, I will pay you to design my next tattoo.
I might have him. I want him to draw up something for my channel.
That's what I'm saying. I'll pay him to draw it. Unfortunately, if he's way out on the West Coast, I mean, I ain't big time like that where I could fly out and get me a tattoo real quick and fly back, because I'm on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? So, but if Luke is closer to me, though, we might make something happen. I would love for him to design my next tattoo. So,
somebody told me that somebody told me that some of the best people to do artwork for a channel are tattoo artists, because they do a lot of shorthand and stuff. The guy who did my caricature of me sitting at the desk that I told you about, I try to, like I said, I try to use it as a green screen, and my green screen's like a 4x3, and I need
you need a 16, but we need 16x9s. I need Elgato to make a 16x9 kind of dimension green screen, because that's the one I have. Why did they make
them square?
I don't understand. And that way, if they make it long,
then you don't have to be so close. Yeah, because I'm ugly, man. I don't want people looking at my grill all up close and everything.
Yeah, and plus with the face cam, it's digital zoom opposed to a real cam, where it has the optical zoom. So I need to turn my green screen the other way. I try to turn mine sideways, but the stand I have is
real rickety anyways. Man, I got the cheapest green screen and green stand. Man,
I
like
understand.
my microphone, I spent way too much money.
Yeah, no,
And my
man, you
green
need good
screen,
mics.
I got my ring light, which works pretty good. It
Good.
likes to illuminate my super pale face.
Yeah, your color is popping. I like
I
that.
appreciate that. Yeah, I went into the settings and I adjusted it just a little bit, the saturation. Make me look like I got a tan, which I
Gotcha.
don't. I figure we've hit about an hour, so I figure I'd close this out with
Cool.
the schedule. Have you gotten a chance to look at it?
Absolutely,
a lot of people are saying
man.
it's tough. A lot of
Listen,
people are saying it's going to be
every
a
year
hard
is going to be damn tough, guys. And so the thing is this: we don't know who we playing and when we playing. I mean, we don't know when we're playing them. Sorry, we know who we playing.
Right.
We do know we got to face our teams twice. Those
Right.
are always
I
tough.
was going to put it up on the screen, but I don't know how to make it to where it comes up on the side. It puts us to the side.
If you, I don't have your controls, but if you click, I can't see what you're looking at. But just it might not come up on the side, but put the picture up and let me see what it does.
All right, let's see if I can have it here. Where are we? Brand.
And to answer that Kyler Murray stuff, I think Russell Wilson is ready to move on. But Kyler Murray, I don't know what's going on with him.
Oops.
Maybe he just doesn't like Arizona. So you have it in the wrong thing. If you put it in the overlays,
okay,
upload it to the overlays, then you can post it. See, right now you have it in the backgrounds.
Gotcha. I've got to get into the overlays.
Yeah, just upload that same picture into your overlays, and then it'll pop up in front of us.
Haha.
I don't have it on. Yeah, but no, I definitely looked at the schedule. I plan to be at I'm going to a minimum 4 games. And I like what my boy Nick does, Nick Clark does out there in San Francisco with the 49ers Invasion. So I'm going to support him and try to partner up with him and do the 49ers Invasion. So I'm going to try to be at those 4 games for sure. There you go. See, look, you learn something new every day. All right. So looking at the schedule, man, look, I got us. What did I put? Early season prediction 12-5.
I don't even know right now. Like I started to do like we got this because of some of the quarterback situations. But
I got a 12-5.
12-5.
I don't see how we lose more than 5 games, and I got us losing to our divisional opponents.
I could see us beating the Bears. I could see us beating Atlanta. I could see us beating Seattle if Russell goes. The Raiders, I could see.
Okay. I see what you're saying. Oh, okay. See, I have us at 12-5 with Russell still in Seattle. He's not. I don't have him leaving. I still think we beat the Rams both times again.
That would be that. I don't want that. I want us to lose so we can get redemption.
I know, but the only team I see us losing to, like struggling with, other than the ones in our division, Kansas City, in Tampa, Kansas City.
Yeah, Kansas City. I could see a loss.
In Los Angeles, the Chargers.
Yeah. Go Chargers, go.
Them cats put up points.
Yeah, there's 2 ladies that I've interviewed before. I don't know if you know them, touchdowns and tight ends. 2 ladies from the West Coast. One is a Chargers fan, one is a Niners fan. They've been friends since like high school.
Wow.
I feel so bad for her because her Chargers this year were like kind of like the Niners, like hot and cold. Yeah. I don't know what it's going to take to get them over the top.
They got a future, man. It's going to take a coach to just.
Yeah, they got a quarterback, and that's the best starting point you can have.
And I like Eckler. He just got to find a way to stay healthy. They need to find a way to get him healthy. And you know what they need?
Oops. Sorry.
That's cool. Who's their tight end? That's what they need. They need a tight end. Because they need a tight end. See, Phillip Rivers had Antonio Gates.
Yes,
a lot of people don't talk about that.
And he was good for a long time.
Antonio Gates is probably a top 10 tight end in overall. Do
you think he's a Hall of Famer?
Yeah. Gates got to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I think he's got to be a Hall of Famer too. The dude, he was like a basketball player. He wasn't even originally supposed to be a football player. So
facts. Antonio Gates is definitely going to be a Hall of Famer.
You forget about him sometime when we talk about tight ends. We think about Tony Gonzalez. We think about
see, he's in that echelon in my opinion. He put up numbers. He might not got the chips, but how many chips Gonzalez got? 1? Did he win one with Kansas City? No, he don't got any. He didn't win in Atlanta either.
Tony didn't win nothing.
Yeah, but he was great.
He was fantastic. I'd hate it when the Niners had to go against him or any of those guys for that matter.
Yeah.
I don't know. He didn't answer you. Trade Warner for a first. All right, let's not get silly here, guys.
Now they already paid Warner, man. Warner,
yeah, that's not happening.
Warner is a pillar.
You can't get rid of him. It's like Bosa. You can't.
Yeah. Well, Bosa's going to be a pillar too. Like these guys are pillars. Now I can see some restructuring going on in this offseason.
I heard that too. Maybe Jimmy Ward. He said he'd be open to it.
Maybe Eric Armstead. You know what I'm saying? I could see a little restructuring. And then I could see them possibly trying to bring back Lagan Thomason. Like if they do some restructuring. But
you think they make any splashes?
Like,
you think they go out and trade for a guy like
trade? No.
The dude from the Dolphins corner?
No, Xavier Howard?
Xavier Howard, my brother
Absolutely
said he's
not. They can't afford him.
I wish.
How can you afford him?
You can't. But the Rams always can afford it. That's the part I don't understand.
Well, what I mean is this: you can pay him now. Then his contract. I don't know his contract. I don't have it pulled up in front of me. I don't know how many years left he has on his contract. I think that the 49ers, if they're going to look, why would you trade for a Howard when you can sign J.C. Jackson in the offseason?
Right.
Or you can go and he's not the poor man's way. You can sign Stephen Gilmore in the offseason.
Yeah,
he's still a lock man. I don't care how bad of a season he had in Carolina. Matter of fact, he went to Carolina like the middle of the season, and he didn't play for the Patriots, due to injury. What's going on? And then he left and got traded, and he was pretty decent, but he didn't have that Stephen Gilmore year, so people thinking he's falling off.
But a good pass rush behind him, I think he can do well.
Another guy you can look at that had a bad offseason in Denver is Kyle Fuller. I don't think he's declining. I just think Denver sucked.
Yeah, they got talent on that team. They just don't know what they're doing,
bro. I just think that they suck.
Well, they had a good fella at coach, an old Italian guy, like one of my uncles. My mom's from Sicily. He reminds me of like a no nonsense. I don't smile. I look like I really hate my job. I have uncles. My uncles are all like that.
So was he the Joe Pesci character? Because did Joe smile?
He reminds me of a Robert De Niro type.
The De Niro guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. De Niro was cool.
See, I have an uncle that was born in Sicily.
Okay.
But he grew up here. So he's like your Guy Fieri, kind of like, hey, guys, like a big talkative.
Gotcha.
Like, they're like a New York Italian. That say stuff that no Italians say.
Gotcha.
But he just came off, and I can say that about Italian folk because I am half Sicilian. So if anybody thinks I'm not being nice, yeah, he just came off like I have an uncle who's like about 60. He's always grumpy. And that's totally who Vic Fangio reminded me of. He just looks like he did not want to be there.
Speaking of Vic, man, looks like he's not going to be doing anything this year.
He deserves some time off.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and I know we got to get going because it hit about an hour. I don't want to keep you if you can't. Vic Fangio, like that would be changing the whole defense if we brought him on.
I think you would bring him on as a consultant, though.
That's it? You wouldn't bring him in as a coach?
Nah.
You think he would take a demotion like that?
That's not a demotion. You're paying him to consult now. So now you're saying, hey, this is what I run. So you got guys, I love our defensive coordinator, D'Amico, but he's young.
I love D'Amico too. He's still a little raw.
Yeah. Can you imagine if you brought in a coach that has a different sort of philosophy,
kind of like Anthony Lynn, kind of helping Kyle, kind of the same thing, which I'm totally fine with.
That's why when you said at the beginning of the show about things possibly changing for the 49ers, the hire to Anthony Lynn lets me know that Kyle's way ain't working and he's ready to change some stuff up.
You have to
because the game changes,
bro. They took away drafting and personnel decisions away from Bill Walsh towards the end of his run. And they just said coach, and he hated it, but he was doing everything and he was burned out. And the Niners missed, the Super Bowl 3 years in a row, and they were going to fire him. And then they just said, listen, they took the play. He was the coach. The year they won against the Bengals. And if it happens to a Hall of Fame coach like Bill Walsh,
Mm-hmm.
it can definitely happen to a guy like Kyle Shanahan who's just still beginning his journey. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting offseason, Breezy. I'm so happy you came on. I'm glad I'm getting to know you as I've had you on today. I like your energy. I definitely want to do this again. I want to do a little bit of a roundtable as we get into the offseason. I know you got your own channel. I know it's difficult.
Yeah, we got to get you on there as well, man.
But I'll come on. Yeah. I got to do my homework though, because you seem like you do yours.
No, you did a hell of a job, man. Listen, whenever you're hosting a show, the way you just hosted today, that's how you do it. When you bring guests on, you let them have the floor. You just lead them in.
Well, I'll tell you, when someone like I told you, like I talk about cadence and the way people talk and like their mood. Like when I have Rob Shue on, the same thing. Like he talks, I don't say nothing. There's just certain people like when they have energy, man, and like they bring viewers in. They're like, they might came here to see me, but then all of a sudden they're like, who's this guy? And then they're like, screw Aaron's channel. I'm going over to Breezy's channel now.
Hey, man, that's what it's all about, man. It's all about networking and it's all about building. The one thing that I would like for us 49ers content creators to do is to continue to support one another, whether it's watching a show, whether it's giving a super chat contribution, whether it's responding to a DM, no matter what it is, we need to support each other. Stop being crabs in the barrel and let's help push the next brother over the barrel so they can get to the top, because that's what it's all about. And if you get to the top, then you come and get your brother and you pick him up and you bring him to the top. That's just how I am. That's how my mama raised me. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm hoping that, we could continue to build and grow as a big network.
Don't be like Matt Stafford when that girl fell off the stage. Don't walk away.
Oh my God.
Help the person onto the stage.
I was talking to Peachy today about that. I was like, yo, he had to be hella drunk. Like,
yeah,
I know
dude, that was messed up.
I don't care what. Drunk though. You know how drunk Tom Brady was when he was on the boat and like he was drunk. He had to be that drunk because he looked at her and said,
dude, she dropped like 15 feet and broke her back.
15 feet? That's a lot of feet. That's taller than a basketball court.
She fell pretty far and is hurt pretty badly. She's not dead, thank God.
Well, maybe there was nothing he could do.
His wife was helping. He could, so that's when you say, helping people up over, definitely. Like my boy Kel's Chronicles, I love him.
Yeah.
I caught him one day and I'm like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
It's just about the energy, man. Some people you can, I'm sure that people think I'm monotone and I sound like Kermit the Frog or Ray Romano. That's all right.
You don't sound like Kermit the Frog.
If I'm not somebody,
Mahomes sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Yeah.
You don't sound like Kermit.
I got a little bit of Ray Romano going on. Depends. My brother really sounds like Kermit the Frog. Like, we have really deep, froggy voices. Mm-hmm. He's like, I could never go on your channel. I'm like, nah, dude, that'd be bad. They'd be like, there's two of them? Like, what in the hell? Breezy, it's been a blast, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. I will definitely want to do this again. Everybody, you participated in the chat, like Peachy. I will definitely be coming over to your guys' channel to check that out for sure. Anytime I have somebody on, I always like to go back and watch them and be like, what can I steal?
Yeah, that's what we're here for. That's
what part of their like energy or the way that they talk can I? I'm all about trying to grow my style because I'm a little bit monotone sometimes, and I watch myself back a lot, and I'm like, ooh, my guests outshine me, but that's all right.
No, man, listen, that's the way. The best way to learn is by watching.
It is,
and then doing. So I teach modeling when my students, we teach what we call a certain type of learning. We do learning by project based. So I do a lot of modeling opposed to just, giving them information. You know what I'm saying? So they have to go out and actually research the information. They look at something, they say, oh, this is what we got to do. This is what we got to get to. All right, now how do we get to it? Let's go ahead and dive and deep into it. And so that's kind of my philosophy, teach the end product, show it to them, and then go out there and figure out which ways you can adapt and make stuff your own. And that's how we do it. That's how we get better. No one's biting. No one's copying. We'll make sure we give people credit, everybody. Jeez, everybody wants credit. I get it.
But the thing too is don't call yourself the best. Let other people call you the best.
That's it.
Don't call yourself great. Let other people call you great.
That's it.
Don't ask for super chats. Let them come naturally in the chat. If you got something that people want to watch, they're gonna freaking just give them. Like I've never asked one in my life, and I've gotten them, and I'm like, ooh, it makes me feel special. But like at the same time, if I never got one, I'll be all right too. So
feel you. Shout out to Luke too. Luke didn't respond to me, so I'm about to put
Luke must
on
be doing some serious
He ain't
inking.
doing shit because he responded to at Celts Chronicles. I can see you, Luke. All I wanted to know is if I can get you to design a Wayne Breezy tattoo. Some way.
I got him on Facebook Messenger. I'll ask him to message you. He don't got Twitter. He says he's technologically a little bit. He's a little bit of a technology
Really?
caveman. Yes, he's trying to get his own channel going. I want to help him.
Yeah, let us
computers
know,
and
man.
stuff. I wish I could come to wherever he is and just get him on the computer and teach him how to get on StreamYard and stuff like
Luke,
that.
right now, Luke should be having somebody film taking tattoos, going live. Start live. That's what we do. Just go live. Do like a nice little 20-minute session, 30-minute session of your tattoo, and just give people snippets of what it is you do. Your channel would grow tremendously.
Yeah, he wants to do Niner content though, for sure.
And he wants to do that. Okay, my bad. That's okay.
He's got an he's just got an interesting. I hope he's not mad that I'm talking about it, but I'm being positive. He's got an interesting. He's got an interesting take on stuff. Like me and him disagreed a lot on Jimmy, but I always listen to his opinion. I never said Jimmy sucks. Like no, he's garbage. Like there was times where he kind of brought me up to where he was, and I'm like, you know what, you're right. I think he's the best guy for the job right now. And then there were times where I was like, you know what, dude, I think Jimmy needs to go.
Yeah.
So
there was times I thought Jimmy was garbage. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Hopefully,
I'm going to keep it nitty gritty. If you don't like it, Jimmy was garbage at times. But then he was really good at times as well, right? So
like the game against New Orleans, I thought that was the norm. Nope.
Yeah, but Jimmy was like the perfect storm. You know what I'm saying? Like cold and hot at the same damn time. Jimmy was snow. Like, I just couldn't figure out why.
Like that song from Katy Perry, man.
Oh my gosh!
All righty, guys and gals, it's been great. Everybody, peace out. Everybody, have a good night. Thank you, Breezy, for coming on. Until next time, everyone. See you on the flip side, people.
Peace.